Hey guys, what's going on today? Tom and Spice back from our movie podcast. In today's movie podcast, we're going to be ranking all the Spider-Man movies on a tier list. So let's get started, including the animated series ones also. Anyways, I have a special guest, Alainna.
Hi, everybody. How's it going, Marco?
That's going pretty good. How are you today?
Good. I'm excited to rank some movies.
Okay, so let's start with the first one, Andrew Garfield. Okay, this is the first Andrew Garfield one they made. I actually like this movie. Kind of like the similar plot, how his uncle dies. You know, they show that again in this movie. But also really good web slinging. I like how you can see his reflected goggles. They kind of got away from that in the Spider-Man. So, you know, because I think it's a pretty good movie.
I think each Spider-Man has their own like unique quality, but I would have to agree. You know what? I'm gonna put it in A tier.
And the next movie on the list is the Tobey Maguire one. That's as Spider-Man 2 for Tobey Maguire. I like this one because we see Venom.
Oh, this one's S tier. You don't want to put it in S tier because there's so many memes about this movie. You know where he gets like he does like the little dance on the stairs stuff. Like I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I love this movie. It also gonna go in S tier. We see Venom for the first time. We see like this dark suit for the first time, and I think it's really cool how Sony did it. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good movie. And going into the animated now, this is the first time we see Miles Morales in animated form. So I think it's a good movie because they are bringing a new character now into the Spider-Man universe.
I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen the movie.
Like the animation is so good, it's like comic book style. Like, and it takes so long to make it, but I love that movie, so it's going to go in S tier. It's such a good movie, and they bring Miles Morales for the first time into the movie.
He seems like a really well-rounded Spider-Man.
I heard eventually they're gonna make a live action Miles Morales.
I would see that for sure.
And next on the list, I love this one. This is Spider-Man 2 of Andrew Garfield. We see Electro.
Jamie Foxx.
He's really good.
He's great. Yeah.
I think I like him better in No Way Home. I like his suit better. I like his because he's not as blue. He's more like he shows his actual self.
Sure. Yeah. No. You know what? I have to agree with that. I think I'm gonna rank this one B tier.
Why do you say B?
Maybe the fact that I kind of knew that they were gonna end the trilogy like they did with Tobey Maguire. I'm gonna put it in B, and no discredit to the storyline or the actors; they're phenomenal. But I just felt like wasn't a definitive conclusion, which I wish they had. But that's just personally.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put it where the first Andrew Garfield one is. I'm gonna put an A tier. I think it deserves A tier.
Yeah,
I really like that movie. I like how we saw a new villain this time. Spider-Man facing off, and again going back to the reflective goggles. I like how he saw New York in his goggles when he was swimming.
I do really like
and
the later 2000s era.
Yeah.
Costume design.
And then the crease in the suits, they kind of got away from that in the Tom Holland series. They don't have no
seamless in the Tom Holland, which is fine. It's more again coming into 2020s, like when we're approaching that era, you want the matte seamless kind of suits because that's just how the technology is, right?
Yeah.
So very valid point.
Anyways, going to the first Tobey Maguire movie, I think that one is not as good as the second one.
Oh, okay.
But I also liked it too. So it's also not that bad. I'm gonna put it in S tier because the first couple Spider-Mans are.
I'm gonna put it in A.
Why?
Okay, well that's a C. I want to put it in A. I really like the introduction to his character. He really, because not only is he an incredible actor, but he really encompasses the story of Peter Parker, the emotion, the adolescent years, the crisis he goes through, and the way he conveys that message to the audience, I think is really well done. I think he is the best storyteller out of the three.
True that.
For sure. So that's why I'm going to put it in A.
The reason I put it in S tier because I really like the first Spider-Man, the first Tobey Maguire. I don't know, because it goes through the first time we see Spider-Man on the big screen. So I think it's a really good movie for the first go at Spider-Man. Anyways, now to the first Tom Holland movie. See, I like the first Tom Holland movie, but it's not as good as the rest of them. So Tom Holland's gonna go in A.
I'm gonna put him in C. Okay, it's not that I didn't like it. I just thought it was okay.
Okay.
I think his franchise was really an evolvement from the first to third. I sometimes find like people say the first movie is the best movie, and then it kind of just peters off in quality. I think with this franchise in particular, it just got better every movie.
That's true.
And I think that's how a story should go, is because when you are recreating a character, especially when you've done it twice already, you really have to take into account
Different storylines,
world building, what you want to include, what you don't want to include. You have to consider, what characters do I want to bring into it? So like Tony Stark, that was
I'll put Tony Stark in there. That was a good.
Even with the addition of his like flirtatious relationship with Aunt May, I really like that connection because you have, again,
we see more Aunt May now.
Exactly. And then even with Happy, like it's just these little side characters that really make the whole movie shine.
That's why you put it in C tier?
I'll put the whole franchise of the Tom Holland in a solid A tier.
Okay. So that's why I put the first one at A tier, because they got away from showing his uncle again. They did a different take on it now. Instead of redoing the same story where his uncle dies again, where he's shot. We saw that already twice in the two Spider-Man movies. I like how it picks up from Civil War.
Yes. It's a great aftermath. It's kind of a easy transition piece from the Civil War to the independent franchise, which is really great. So really, really like that.
And going into Far From Home,
the special effects
were pretty good.
It's a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But the reason why I do like it is because we're seeing this transformation between Tom and Zendaya.
Yeah, that's true.
Like really form, and you really see this bond going from a friendship to more than a friendship.
Yeah.
So that's why I rank it as a B.
All right, I think I have to put it in the same spot because it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But it's also not bad. It's a pretty okay movie. Like, I like the villain. I like how they add Nick Fury this time. So I like Nick Fury. He's a good ad.
Right. The one criticism I do have, and it's a very common criticism, is that there's too many side characters where you have to watch all these different miniseries and different shoot-offs to understand the story and their impact on the story, where it's hard for the audience to catch up. Not saying that Nick Fury is one of them, but I'm just saying, if they continue down this path, it might be a little bit confusing to audience members, right?
Probably. But I think it's still pretty good, though.
I agree. Just gotta make it fluid for the viewers to understand.
Yeah. Okay, now going into No Way Home. I really like this one because they brought back old characters. They brought back old villains. They brought pretty much everybody back. It was such a good movie.
Such a tasteful way. They all complemented each other so great, and you're able to see that meme come to life.
Yeah.
And it's great because, like I said earlier, they all have distinct qualities, and you can see how each of them are different, but they're the same. And they really they work really well together. And it was just, I definitely cried at this movie for sure. 100%. And yes, I'm a girl. It was just really well done. Really well done. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that one.
Well, I put in S tier because I really liked all the villains they added and like the special effects all the animations. It was really good. Like, and I liked what they did when they because Hulk, when he went out of his body, did the same thing with Spider-Man when he went out of his former self. I like how they did that with Spider-Man. That was pretty good. I like that one. And now going into the first Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, I like this one. I think this one's better than the second one because the second one gets a little too confusing with storylines because there's so many multiverses and so many different Spider-Mans. But also, that second one's also pretty good. So I'm gonna put this one also in S tier because I love the comic book style.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that you really can't encompass sometimes when you're in a live action scenario. Like I recently watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action adaptation from Netflix. I understand that nothing will come close to the cartoon.
Yeah.
I love it. It's one of my favorite childhood TV shows. And that's okay because it's something that I still come back to, and it's still something that I truly love. And I know that they'll never recreate that through live action, but in itself, it's okay. The live action is not bad, but we're not going to go on a tangent. But I'm just saying, in a comparison, I understand how you can get from like a cartoon to a live action, and sometimes it's just good to stick with our cartoon.
Oh, probably. And I think that's going to be the same thing when they make the live action Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know it's going to be better than the cartoon.
No, because I think there's something that you can't emulate with the cartoon.
No. The comic book style, you can't emulate in live action. Now going into the last one. This is Amazing Spider-Man now.
Oh, this one's hard for me.
I like Amazing Spider-Man.
I think I'm going to put an A.
Tell me why you put it in A.
Maybe it's the costuming.
Well, I like the costuming, and they again are going with the reflected light lenses. They keep going.
I do love that Y2K era.
They keep going with the trilogy. They keep going with it.
It's not as good as S. It's not good enough to be an S tier. There's a je ne sais quoi that it's not there.
Well, we see Rhino though,
but it's just not the same. It will go with A.
And we see the Lizard.
He's not my favorite.
I put this one in A too. Also not my favorite ones, but I like how we see a new villain now that came back in No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Lizard. I like the library scene when they're fighting in the library.
Yeah.
This is my tier list for the Spider-Man movies. And I'm going to leave them in these tiers. I don't think any of them need to be moved. I think I did a really good job ranking them. How about your tiers?
Oh, yeah, I have no regrets. Yeah. I mean, maybe the only regret is putting in that C tier. Maybe a little bit after B. So we have no C or D tiers.
I don't have any C's and D's because they're all good Spider-Man movies. Because
they are. It's only from S to B for A.
You can't really go wrong with Spider-Man movies.
It's one of the most wholesome franchises.
Yeah. They did really good. Like, even when they rebooted him, Tom Holland did a really good job playing Spider-Man.
Yeah. He brought his own take on what Peter Parker was.
Yeah, they're making the Spider-Man 4, I think. With Tom Holland.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they were just
Sony and Marvel were battling.
Sony did it?
No, Marvel won, I think. I think Marvel won the battle. Because it was a battle between street level and multiversal. And Marvel wanted to be street level Spider-Man. They didn't want our multiverse. Because we already saw that in No Way Home.
True. Right. You don't want to rehash things again.
No. So, when he did it in live action, it was cool for the first time. But then they want to go back to his roots and go back to street level Spider-Man. Maybe with a little bit of multiverse into it, but not too much multiverse.
Speaking of multiverse, are you excited for any new Marvel movies that are coming out this year?
Yeah. I'm sorry for Deadpool 3.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm happy actually I brought Hugh Jackman back because I know that he's kind of done movie contract with the whole, Wolverine X-Men kind of thing. Because he was in that, it felt like over 10 years. But I'm kind of happy they collaborated with this. Just at least it's like a nice last dance moment.
It's true.
For them. So really excited for that. It'll be interesting what direction they're going to go afterwards. If they're going to tie it into another X-Men revival.
Yeah, I like how they're making the new one.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think that's all I have to say about ranking the Spider-Mans. So thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys again soon. I'm going to do a getting ready for Deadpool 3 podcast, hopefully in July. So I'll see you guys then. And then when Deadpool 3 comes out, I'll do a review on that. So see you guys then. Bye.